everyone, it's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And as you can tell, it is Saturday, which means I'm coming out with another Saturday video. Usually Saturday videos are anything from anime discussions to an anime or manga review, and obviously this time I'm talking about an anime discussion because I don't have an anime to review at this moment or a manga to review. Although as an update, I am currently watching the second season of March Comes In Like a Lion, so I will hopefully have a review on that next week. But for now, as you can see by the title, I'm going to be talking about the COVID-19 virus, also known as the coronavirus, and also anime conventions or just conventions in general. And the reason why I want to talk about this topic is because we are hitting like convention season. And when I say convention season, I know conventions are always year round, but I feel like a lot of people also go to conventions in the summer and spring season because a lot of people are out of school or they're able to get more time off of work. And usually, at least for me, where I'm at, the weather is usually fairly nice. And one of the biggest concerns a lot of people are having now is because of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus. A lot of people are very concerned about gathering in large groups in one place. And in conventions, that's usually all that you are doing. And I know many of you guys have always heard of the con flu, which is where a lot of people tend to get sick after going to cons just because you just are around a whole lot of people. So now people are concerned about what's going to happen now during this convention season and the risk that is going on with the coronavirus and the risk of catching it, or what are these conventions doing to make sure that precautions are in place so that people don't catch it. Now, currently at this time, there aren't any fandom conventions that have currently been canceled due to the coronavirus. Most places, as far as what I was able to look at, most notably, I looked at San Diego Comic-Con's, like not site, but just the convention center site, of them basically asking like, has anything been canceled or is anything going to happen? What precautions are you taking? And as of right now, that does not look like it is canceled. Most conventions that I've looked at on Twitter or that I've heard about so far have not been canceled. I feel like a lot of them are just kind of trying to figure out what's going to happen. I think this though is mostly due to a lot of conventions happening later on in the year or later on in the summer, like May or June. And since right now we are just now hitting March, and they're just trying to look at the situation and see what happens in the next coming months to decide whether or not this actually needs to be dealt with or canceled, or if it needs to be pushed back more or rescheduled for a later date. But I do know that most of the things that they are basically asking for people going to these conventions is like, hey, be sure to wash your hands for 20 seconds, which is like singing the happy birthday song twice. They are also asking people to be sure to cover your mouth or your nose if you do have to sneeze, and basically covering it with your elbow. They are also, of course, also asking just to practice good hygienic practices. Have hand sanitizer on you as well. Although hand sanitizer does not protect from a lot of viruses, they are good for bacteria, and a lot of times it just makes, I know for me, feel a little bit less anxious or nervous if I have hand sanitizer on me, especially nowadays with what's going on. But also be sure to educate yourself. Don't sit there and, have xenophobia towards somebody because you feel like they have the coronavirus when they probably don't. And also, of course, recognize the symptoms. Of course, recognize if you have a cough or fever or shortness of breath, to definitely be sure to get yourself checked out and to be sure that you don't have this, or if you have came in contact with someone that has had similar symptoms or has traveled outside of the US to the places where the coronavirus is very prevalent, just be sure to quarantine yourself, go to the hospital, get yourself checked out, and see if you do actually have it. And if you do, just be sure to let those people know whom you may have come in contact with what is also going on. But I'm just curious overall for you guys, do you feel like the conventions are going to be canceled? Do you feel like the conventions are going to put a lot more precautions in place? Like I mentioned before in my nerd news video where I kind of talked about this briefly, I know for me, every year I go to a convention every year, and I know strictly on that convention, on the booklet that they give you and also on their site, they always just like, hey, be sure to practice good hygiene, drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, be sure to shower, be sure to wash your hands. And because many of us know of people whom are a part of fandoms that don't have the best hygienic practices, so I'm just curious on like what you guys feel about this or what precautions you guys are taking. Are you guys following this a little bit closely for the conventions that you guys might be going to later on in the year, hitting like early summer? If you're going to any, are you keeping up with it to see what they're going to do, or are you keeping up with what's going on with the coronavirus in general and trying to decide the decision of whether or not you are still going to go or even purchase tickets to these events because of them being such large groups of people and being around a lot of people? And I'm not saying that anyone should be scared about what's going on right now. I say definitely keep yourself educated and keep yourself informed of what is going on, but don't be afraid. You know, don't be super nervous about it, but just take precautions when you can, and just be very aware of what is going on, and don't let, you know, social media and things like that make you more afraid than you should be, because I know there's a lot of things on social media nowadays that's actually not true about what is going on with the coronavirus. But I'm just curious overall though, just about conventions in general, because I know for me that's like the biggest event that I'm going to, which is going to be around a lot of people, and I'm just curious on how it is going to affect the conventions that I'm going to, or the conventions that my friends are going to. So what do you guys think? Personally, I think most places, like I said, are just looking in to see what's going to happen. But I do hope that conventions, if people decide not to go and have that option to do so, that they are able to receive their money back and that they are able to get those refunds. Although I know for some places they may not allow a refund, and that sales are basically pretty much final. But I would hope that for the ones that say that, make this an exception and allow people to get a refund if they don't feel safe going, or if they don't feel like they want to put themselves at that kind of a risk, if there is a potential risk during that time before they go. But what do you guys think? Comment down below, let me know your thoughts, and of course I will leave links down below to all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well. And I'll probably leave link down below, also a link to the CDC for anyone that is interested in knowing a little bit more about the coronavirus and how to protect yourself. And also, of course, a link to all the resources or the education that is out right now about the coronavirus, besides what is out on social media, since like I said, some of that information may or possibly is false. Of course, like always, please give the video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel as well, and I will have a new video out for you guys on Monday. Like I always tell you guys, please stay positive and stay nerdy. All right, you guys. Bye.